Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Welcome to the Round Circle with your host, the Fifth General, Zach Keys, and Cinema Escapes. What up, y'all?
Yeah.
What's good?
What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah, man.
We had technical issues, technical difficulties for the audience out there. That's why the upload was a little slow. The video situation was out of whack. Still working on episode 8. If episode 8 never gets uploaded to Spotify and iTunes and all that, don't worry about it. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. All right, so we're going to get into it. We're going to get into this episode. A lot has happened over the weekend. Whether it be political or entertainment. The Supreme Court made a decision on R.v.W., for those who know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, you got the BET Awards. I mean, it's interesting how what's planned here and then here, and then now, everybody has a voice on it. Now, I have my opinion on it, and I am not going to be afraid to speak my mind on the whole situation of R.v.W. and ABs, especially in the black community. So we're definitely going to go there. But let's get into some positive news first. Okay. Let's get into some very positive news. Shout outs to Diddy, Harlem / Mount Vernon. You know what I'm saying? People's from Harlem, but he grew up in Mount Vernon, New York. You know what I mean? Money making Mount Vernon. Andre Harrell's protege. You know what I'm saying? Uptown Records, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. You know what I mean? My man went on his own. Craig Mack, Biggie, Faith Evans. You know what I'm saying? 112, Mace, Locks, Shine, Carl Thomas, Mario Winans.
Yeah. Faith Evans, I think.
Yeah, I said Faith. Affiliations with Lil' Kim and Junior Mafia, although they wasn't officially signed, the bad boy. But, Diddy, first he was showing Puffy Combs. You know what I'm saying? He got his well-deserved Lifetime Achievement
Well-deserved.
on BET.
Yep. All right. Okay? All right, Peter Black Rob. Yeah, man.
Right, Black Rob. Let's not forget Black Rob.
Yeah,
that's a sad situation. He also did a tribute to Kim Porter in his performance. I thought that was respected, even though he did Missing You, but he used Missing You. He tied in Big and Kim Porter, and I it's like I almost forgot she passed away. Like I slightly almost forgot. So that reminded me, and Kanye coming out. That was a surprise. Babyface said, "Let me coming to the stage." Diddy, and all of a sudden, Kanye came out.
Kanye came out, yeah. And at first, I was like, "Wait a minute, who was that?" He was all masked up, and I was like, with glasses, like, who is that? Well, and then I said, "Oh, wait a minute."
I put two and two together. Them
people are looking at him like he was spaced. I'm like,
listen. Kanye been on some oddball stuff lately, especially with them boots. So I knew it was him. When I saw them big old Optimus Prime boots he was wearing. That looked crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's up with that? Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying, Cinema? You know what I mean? When he had them little boots on, them little flood boots on, you know what I'm saying?
Optimus Prime. Yo.
I mean, come on, let's keep it real. It look like Optimus Prime legs, you know what I'm saying, with the way them boots are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Autobots roll out, you know what I mean?
He was saying a lot of stuff up there, though. Oh my gosh.
Hey, let me tell you something. Kanye took his awful wedded time. He took his time. I mean, he was so stuck at some point, they didn't know whether to go to commercial or create one. I mean, they was trying to figure out when he was. They was trying to figure out when he was gonna talk or when he was gonna stop talking. You know what I'm saying? Like they was trying to figure it out. They was like, give me a time code. You know what I'm saying?
And it's an introduction, so you can't play him off.
Right, because the guy who still needs to get his Lifetime Achievement Award hasn't come up yet. So you can't just cut it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Like to thank the Academy. Like to thank Exactly.
Yeah. Yo, Cinema, what's your opinion on so let's give an overall thing. So let's talk about the performance. Well, hold on, let me do this before we do this. So it started out with Jodeci first. You know, come and talk to me because I really want to meet you.
I really want to know you, girl.
I really want to know your name.
Your name. Yo, you remember those times, right? Right, Cinema?
So Jodeci came out, right? And then after that was Mary J. Blige. I'm pretty sure Mary J. Blige couldn't stand too close to KC. But anyway, that's another story. Mary J. Blige.
If you think you're lonely now, don't go there.
Oh yeah.
Wait until tonight, girl. Long story. If you don't know about it, look it up. We ain't got time to talk about that one.
Word. I actually feel kind of bad for laughing because we know why. Anyway. So you notice.
Yeah, he put that on the movie soundtrack. That's not.
hey,
oh man!
You know, so we saw that after Mary J. Blige, they went into the Bad Boy segment,
right?
And
Bad Boy,
come out and play. So we.
I was just listening to that the other night too.
It was interesting because by the time it got to the Bad Boy segment, Shine was on stage.
I got excited when Shine came on stage. I was like, yo, Shine is... I got excited when Shine came on stage. I was like, yeah, Belize, yeah. And I was like, yo, man. When he was performing, I was like, yo. That was a real moment. I was taken back by that, you know. I was like, yeah, man.
And for those who don't understand, it was back when a certain person was dating J-Lo, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Do your research on that too.
Yeah, look it up. Do your research.
That's 2 homework assignments so far.
Yeah, if you know the history of Shine and his music, you can look it up, man. And
one night in a club in New York,
I mean,
and a gun and a court case.
You remember the year? You remember the year? It was back in 2000.
Nah, we're staying vague.
Listen, here's the thing with Shine. Here's the thing with Shine's career. He dropped a hit and a shot in the same year. But anyway, so here's the thing. We gotta. So then we transition into it's all about the Benjamins, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The locks came out. You know what I'm saying? Kiss came out.
What you gonna do?
Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers. You know what I mean? So
you can't deny that. That was a jam.
It was a jam back then. Yeah. That was the classic party joint. Yeah.
And, you know,
timeless joint.
Lil Kim came out.
Oh yeah, with the beat. You know what she does that dance. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep that moving.
Yeah. And we can talk about Lil Kim. Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach. You talk about Lil Kim. Go ahead. I ain't gonna stop you.
Lil Kim, to me, I gotta respect her as a legend. That came out in the 90s when she was signed to Bad Boy. When she came out, I was excited about her because I said she got her songs were good, lyrics she could spit, and I loved the delivery of her voice back then too. But and I thought she was attractive too. But as time went on, man, she did it. I mean, she still got. Listen, Kim still got it. Kim, I don't want to say, Kim still got it, and I respect her as a hip hop legend too, man, because especially ladies of hip hop, especially when she came out with some classic joints, timeless and classic joints. Still, you can play some of her songs on the radio, and you still bop your head to it.
Listen,
Kim,
Lil Kim,
Kim.
Definitely is a big time star, and she got her lifetime.
Yeah.
When the BET Hip Hop Awards gave her lifetime achievement award like 2 years ago, right, or something like that.
Right.
And no, musically, she definitely deserves it.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely, sure.
Right. So, Faith Evans comes out.
Right.
You know, as she should. You know. And then they did the tribute to Big and Kim Porter. Kim Porter's face in the background on the screen.
That was a moment.
Finish it off with Missing You. I thought it was very respectful. But here's what I want to get to, because we had to mention the performance as a recap, but I just want to give acknowledgement to his career. With that being said, now I'm gonna give it to Cinema. I was trying to build it up. What's your overall opinion on Puff and his career and his reasons for having a lifetime achievement award, and also the timing? You know what I'm saying? With yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah.
This is kind of late.
Yeah.
It's really late, but I'm glad he got his flowers.
Right.
You know, with all the East Coast, West Coast, or blah blah. You know, basically, Puff was a visionary who saw something. You watch some documentaries, you get some backgrounds of how hungry he was and what he was very hungry and got people to invest in Bad Boy, which was a brand that had it on lock for a long time. And as far as an entrepreneur, smart businessman, he's done it a long time. I mean, come on. Who hasn't watched Making the Band?
Yeah. I mean, came on. Yes.
I mean, a lot of things to the culture, not only hip hop, Puffy has contributed to. Number one, he started as a banging producer, beats for days. You know, a lot of the stuff he did at Uptown, while he was up and coming, what he did at Uptown to me is enough. But then he went and took it to another level at Bad Boy. When he got his own thing. And then clothing line.
Oh, yes.
Ciroc,
yes. And clothing line. Yeah. His thing.
Yeah, which, Versus is living off of. And a lot of other things,
I don't want to forget
over a lot.
They did a Pastor Cavassier performance as well. Busta Rhymes, forgot about that.
Exactly.
I love that performance. Yeah,
exactly. And so, productions of bangers, timeless hits after hits, a successful label, successful management, just somebody, nobody's perfect, but somebody just doing it right, as business-wise, music-wise. He's to be admired. He's to have his flowers, his props, his full props. Whether Puffy, Deep, Diddy, reinvented himself and went another level. But and people don't realize this, when you go out of the public eye to the business side, you're doing way much more than what people know, because you're just not the public face of it anymore. But that dude deserves a lifetime achievement award.
Yes.
I mean, there's people who've done less who've gotten a lifetime achievement award.
Well deserved, yeah.
And Craig's gone, Biggie's gone, Kim,
Yeah, I mean, I could, yeah.
Black Rob, right.
Yeah.
A lot of talent came through those doors. And then the vision to collaborate with the best too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the art of the remix. Him and Hype Williams. I was saying this before. You know,
the videos and everything, and just
right.
Yeah,
they took hip hop to a marketing level where it was marketable to where the suits wanted to steal it from us. And
yeah,
but that wasn't his purpose. His purpose was to elevate the people and elevate the art, which successfully they did. You know,
yes,
and so it made it marketable because remember they didn't want to mess with hip hop. Hip hop they were just trying to make us like a niche genre, and we took over. And and you had a lot of visionaries with Puffy at the time that helped do that, but he was very, you know, very, very huge part of that.
Mm-hmm. He was part of. I'm gonna say this that Diddy, the Bad Boy, was part of the. It was the middle of. It was the 90s golden era part of hip hop. That especially for the East Coast, he represented for the East Coast to the fullest. With artists, with a collaboration of R&B and hip hop fusion. That brought out. I can fairly say that he was part of the New Jack Swing feel, so especially with the confusion between hip hop and R&B.
Well,
Teddy Riley, he contributed, but Teddy Riley was the king, but he contributed.
Well, think about it. Puff came from that era.
Yes,
behind the scenes in the offices during New Jack.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that
so
makes sense.
Saying,
yeah,
and he was doing stuff at Uptown during the time.
He was working exactly. He was doing stuff with them as a what do you call that? An intern.
Mm-hmm.
He was an intern, I think, around that time.
And then worked his way up to producer.
And then worked his way up. You know what I'm saying?
What's the 411?
He was working for
what's
free.
What's the 411? Right. What's the 411 remix album?
Yes. He was working for free. He was there when Jodeci started, when Mary J. Blige started. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there. You know what I'm saying? So that makes a lot of sense.
That contribution at Uptown. That's why I said that.
Yeah. He is definitely a student of New Jack.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he turned around and made his own sound.
Sure did.
And left his own legacy.
He sure did. Did he definitely? Puff definitely has a legacy of his own. Even before we even get to his music.
Right.
So before we even get to his music, just him as a mogul, right?
Yeah.
And an industry mogul, or orchestrator, a everything. Puff is part of this hip hop culture, whether people like it or not.
Yeah.
His presence, his name will always come up when you're talking about hip hop. His name comes up when you talk about R&B at times too. So that should tell you something.
Right. Exactly.
You know who's very passionate about that too? Was it Murder Inc? What's it?
Tomorrow R.v.W. Gotti.
R.v.W. from Murder Inc. He's very, very passionate about it.
Look, R.v.W.
keeping hip hop.
R.v.W. Gotti was around. Interesting thing you mentioned R.v.W. Gotti, right? R.v.W. Gotti will get his Lifetime Achievement Award soon. R.v.W. Gotti.
Yep.
Remember him and Mike Geronimo back in the days.
Exactly. Yep.
They was in the Flavor in the Air remix video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody needs a history lesson.
Right, because Irv and Puff go way back.
Yeah.
Right. That's like how Redman used to be sitting in the back of videos too.
With Redman. With EPM, the EPMD time. Redman was with
EPMD.
Exactly.
Yeah. Back in the 90s days.
It's funny, and I like that you mentioned Redman, and we're gonna go back to Puff. It's interesting that you said that, Cinema, because Redman was Def Squad before Def Squad was Def Squad.
Right.
So even though EPMD is Eric and Parrish, but when you think about it, EPMD collectively is all of them. You know what I'm saying? Redman, K Solo, Daz Effects, Keith Murray.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about you think about it, they all play a part. Mm-hmm. They all play a part in the EPMD family.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Even when they split, they still, you had Def Squad, which was Eric's.
Right.
And you had Parrish's.
We had Parrish's with his squad.
Everybody. Yeah, and then you had Parrish producing, which a lot of people didn't know that.
Yes, Parrish produces too. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you're talking about time. Hey, that's going on. Puffy's going on. And then, that era was just...
You want to talk about lifetime achievement? Eric Sermon definitely deserves his flowers.
Eric Sermon deserves his flowers. Yes. And did Primo get anything yet?
Primo will, and if he do, it'll probably be on the BET Hip Hop Awards.
Hip Hop Awards.
Because the BET Hip Hop... So, this is just my opinion in this environment, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, when you produce a Christina Aguilera album.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
produces,
hey, you know what? I could be wrong. It's possible that years ago, Primo did get his flowers. I don't know. But as far as my memory tells me, I don't think he got a Lifetime Achievement Award from a big scale award show yet.
Yeah, big scale. Yeah. He's gotten his flowers. He's gotten his respect.
Right, he gets his on that scale.
And we're catching up with Puffy because I think a lot of people cut the line with him.
Yes.
And got theirs before his.
Yes. You know why?
Puffy should have been.
So I wonder something, right? Puff is Puff is in his 50s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put it like this. Yes, he should have got it a long time ago. He's so active and mobile that maybe they forgot
in so many things.
Yeah, so maybe
he's still his hand is still there.
Exactly.
It's like a lot of guys who got it aren't active.
Right.
Puffy's still active.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's almost
just an oversight.
Well, it's possible that maybe they
because you're seeing him every day.
Right, because maybe it's possible BET felt like, well, we don't want to retire a player's jersey who's still playing. Maybe that's probably why they felt like that. But like I said, well deserved. He got it. He should have got it a long time ago. But guess what? Not only should the BET Awards give him that. Let's just keep it real. The Grammys.
Keep it real.
The Grammy should acknowledge him. Yes,
the Grammy should be giving him a Lifetime Achievement Award as well, because that's how big Puff is.
His career was His career his career, and as we talked about Pharrell, because I love Pharrell as a producer.
Yeah,
but before Pharrell, there's Puffy.
Yes,
who did what Pharrell does.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who transcended genre.
Yeah.
And I don't think people acknowledge that enough. Because his work was multi-genre. Then he went back to R&B and pop with Making the Band.
Yeah, yes.
And Puff is also
he launched more bands that hit the market successfully.
And then Puff personally has done rock music.
Exactly.
People forget "Come With Me" off the Godzilla soundtrack, the rock and roll remix to "All About the Benjamins." And then Puff has done. Puff has done more work in that genre as well. So this is a man who, and I know people get on him. That's why he said, "Don't worry, if I write rhymes, I write checks." But regardless of that, he is credited for his work. Should be respected for his work. Talk about his personality all you want. That's a separate conversation. But the Lifetime Achievement Award was about his music, was about his contribution to the music, his contribution to the music industry as far as him being a record label exec, owner, manager, everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Business and everything.
Right. And nobody nice lasts in business. We know this.
Well,
oh, yeah. Yes.
Hey, he told you that. Because remember what he said, even his guy, Rest in peace, Andre Harrell. Even he fired him.
Exactly.
Told him there can only be one lion in the jungle. I mean, according to what he said in the Notorious movie, there can only be one lion. He said Andre told him there can only be one lion in the jungle.
Yeah, but that's fact because Andre was inheriting Clive Davis's label.
Yeah.
At the time. And then he even said on a documentary, it was a promotion that I wasn't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how it is.
Your boy Puff saw
you
Heavy. He saw the Heavy D's career.
Yep.
And then he said, "I'm gonna have me something opposite." You know what I mean? And shout outs to Mr. C for even putting this up where Big could even meet Puff. Because it sucks that Big's not here because I want to say this. I honestly believe there'll be no Biggie without Puff, no Puff without Biggie.
Right.
Okay, yes, definitely. I could agree. That
was the turning point.
Yes.
That relationship was everything.
Yes.
And tragically, Big's life got cut short. But man, what they did,
what they built together,
oh my goodness,
Sean,
it's like you got to imagine, like Biggie and Pac would have just got better, and they both came into the game. Pac got to be longer with Digital Underground and stuff.
Yes,
but Biggie came in flaming.
Yes,
the album Biggie had done that we didn't hear was flaming. So imagine what was next in his head.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Zacchaeus, I'm sorry. I feel like, okay, I want to ask you probably a separate question, right? Okay. So here's the thing. When we look at the career, right? Oh, hold on. When we look at the career of Puff, right? What is it that Puff could do now, right? Differently that he's done in the past, because obviously he has more work to do. Now you saw it. You saw his speech. Based off of his speech.
Yes.
What do you think is next for Puff and his legacy?
I would say I could say keep the music alive. I could say that, but I also can say because of certain things that's going on in our communities. And I like what he said.
Yeah.
Let's unify.
Right.
So when he said let's unify, I kind of thought of more jobs in the community because more contributions to people struggling in the community. I'm getting this from when Queen Latifah broke ground, opening up affordable places for people to live. That's a big thing in the community where people can't afford certain things. They can't afford where they live. I think the biggest thing for him would be to open something like an area where people could afford doing some kind of contributions to where people can, like even with some artists trying to get studio work, because studios are expensive too. Opening up music schools, maybe studios to get the kids off the street because guns is rampant in our community. So maybe open up like hip hop schools, like in other words, in like let's say where he's from, Yonkers, and then make it spread to Brooklyn and different parts of the boroughs. Maybe even spread out and just say this is a school where is affordable. There's a recording studio that's affordable for people who ever want to record, and also it's also where if a person is struggling to pay their rent, maybe he can push something where, because if you're making that kind of money, you could have a vision like that. Like, damn, I see people struggling to pay the rent. Rent is at a all-time high, so maybe I can break ground and open up a facility where people can afford where they live, and also and that can be and that can and just in other words, don't go under this, don't go nowhere underneath the city, nowhere where you're controlled by the city. This is your own project, your own funding, your own people funding you to do this. Yeah, something like that, or maybe open up another like a something similar to a YMCA. Keep kids occupied in certain neighborhoods, So I think that's his next. I think that's his next move. That's his next. Or I had something else. I had something else in mind. But as far as like entertainment, push films, push the films of his artists now. Like let's say,
that's where I see it. That's where I see it. I see him.
Craig Mack story. The Craig, not only the Craig Mack story, the what's it, Black Rob story, who else story, there's a lot of artist story, even the artists that are living, the Faith Evans story, the Mary J. Blige story, something similar to in other words, put their life, that's if they want to put their life on in film to help other inspiring up and coming artists in that way, So I'm thinking in those ways though.
So let me tell you what I see to piggyback off of what you're saying and to piggyback off of his speech.
Yeah.
I see him more so going further into the media world because what he's already doing with Revolt TV. So I see him more going into the media world because he talked about having a platform and creating platforms that we can own, that we can tell our own stories. So that sounds like a black. So that sounds like a black CNN. You know what I'm saying? Which was a vision that I had years ago.
Yes.
So if he's able to provide that, you know what I'm saying? And I see him more so doing that. I see him still doing music for the fun of it, and not because it's a job anymore. But I see him still doing music because of the fun part. But I think in terms of the actual work, I could actually see him go more into radio, television, streaming, entertainment, filming, like you said. I can see him more going into that world more so than music being number one.
Yeah, yes.
Cinema?
Mm-hmm. A lot of that. Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Yeah. And the whole thing is all of that can be interconnected. The education, providing the jobs. Because if you train these people coming in the way you want and the way you want them to work and how to have, because if you spot a kid with an ear, he doesn't have to do things on the level. All he has to do is just stand over and watch and teach and regulate because he's done the work himself. Now, it's for the level, to over,
Yes.
Like he's a Bezos, a Bill Gates.
A Bill Gates, yes.
A thing that. Bezos, and, and Revolt is very big, and Revolt is coming up, and people, people are noticing it. And so that's very important because every time we get a voice, somebody seems to sell it to Viacom. Or somebody else. Exactly. So we need to make something and keep something.
Got it.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I know he ain't looking to sell nothing. Cause he knows what he had to do to get his label going.
Right.
There's documentation and documentaries. Go do your research.
The man knows what it's like because he had to work for someone and do all that work just for somebody to take it from him because it's not his.
Right.
He knows what that's like. He knows what it's like to do all of that he had to do with Jodeci and Mary J. Blige just for somebody to tell him get out of here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And he ain't gonna.
Yeah. So I mean, no, that's all of that is valid. I'm interested to see what's next, honestly. I respect the heck out of Diddy musically. I mean, We got the music, we got the albums, we got, you know what I mean? We got the catalog. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know. Well, you know,
Please.
You know.
I'm writing to the catalog back and forth to work. I done made our era of music. I'm writing back and forth. Dudes looking at me like,
yeah.
Yeah. That's my sound.
Still bumping Victory. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
It won't stop. Too bad we didn't see Mace up there.
Yeah,
and we didn't see. And I don't recall 112. Did you see 112, or was that towards the end?
I didn't see 112.
I don't recall 112.
I didn't see no or Loom. Remember Loom?
No Loom. No Danny D. Kane. No Day 26.
Day 26. Yeah.
Well, DK
obviously the band
DK don't exist no more.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying DK don't exist, and I don't think they could go in a room with each other without tearing each other up right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there's a lot of heat between them, but I know. Diddy's good with one of them.
Well, the whole thing.
Right.
Well, the whole thing is they ain't gonna be there because it's BET.
It's BET. Well, you know, yeah, right. Well, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, to be a little fair, I think Puff is doing a tour. I think he's doing a Bad Boy tour, and they're on it. So that's probably what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we'll
the whole thing is you got to know you got a certain amount of time. You can't put everything up there. That's like going to see. That's like going to see a Stevie Wonder concert.
Yeah,
what decade did you see him from? And you're trying to throw everything in there. You got to throw what's relevant to the situation in.
True, because you can't cram 30-something years of music into a 10-minute piece.
Exactly.
It's hard to do.
That's like somebody with Stevie Wonder, 5 decades of music.
Yeah.
2-hour concert. You're hearing the hits, unless it's a particular tour. That's why I caught him on the Songs of the Key of Life tour. Heard every song on that album live. That's how you got to do it with him. Because you're going to hear Superstition, My Sharia More. You're going to hear those.
Right.
Because those are his biggest. Exactly.
You know,
and then you may get some deep cuts, but you know what you're gonna
hear. You know what you're gonna get. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so with Puffy, you're dealing with that. You're dealing with decades upon decades upon decades, different sounds and different things. So okay, for BET, I'll just bring this in. Because he don't have enough time to do that. Because you know. It'll end up turning the performance into a super medley, like in, out, you know.
Yeah.
What can you do when your body of work is just so big?
But you know what? I just want to say this though. Puff's legacy is big enough to control the whole BET Awards. Let's okay. Look, this is just my opinion.
But you know.
It's very difficult. I understand. It's very difficult.
This is BET.
Right.
But the whole thing is,
well, let's do this. Let's do this, Cinema, right?
Okay, let's go.
Let's do this. Remember when BET Awards? They kind of did this with Prince too, but mainly with Michael Jackson. They bits and pieces throughout the show did Michael Jackson tributes, as opposed to doing a solid one-shot thing. I think. And it was kind of like that with Prince. You had certain bits and pieces. You had to. So with Puff, what they should have did was Jackson. This. Right. Mm-hmm. What they should have did with Puff and Lifetime Achievement, what they should have did was in the beginning of the show, do something, right? A piece here, a piece here, a piece there, then the big set, right? And then the last, you know what I'm saying? But I get it because you have a full award show. It's a lot of acts. And let me tell you something. The BET Awards, the BET Awards probably has as much or more performances than the Grammys.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Televised because Grammys.
Right. The only way. Yeah. Right. The only thing is, you got to watch the stream show to see performances. Where you got like a good 10 seconds. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Grammys is the whole day. And then you go eat, then it's the televised Grammys.
Yeah.
So
pound for pound, like, yeah, there's so many performances on the BET Awards.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
It's a lot. So real quick, Zacchaeus, before we get to our next subject, because we talked about Puff. Do you want to share? I didn't see all the performances. So how many acts were there? Like, who started off the awards? Like, I didn't do my homework at all, sadly.
Well, it was Brandy. I like Brandy's performance.
Okay. Okay.
I always Brandy started rhyming in the beginning, but she was very interesting.
I saw that.
She's been
she was rhyming.
Anything Brandy,
she's been displaying that. Yeah. She's been displaying that. Yeah.
She's been rhyming, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is something. She's been doing that for a while, but just something that she come up with. She was rhyming. That's the intro. That's the beginning.
Okay.
And then as time went on, that artist like that LMA, then LMA, then Babyface, then Babyface.
I saw that part.
Yeah, baby had the Babyface.
Lotto. They had Lotto. I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, which is like okay. I just like the collaboration between LMA and Babyface. Yeah,
Lotto,
because it was the sample of his song.
Yep, Lotto, Lotto, Mariah Carey.
Which Mariah? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was,
Chloe
Bailey.
Chloe Bailey. It says
Chloe
Brandy.
Bailey, yeah.
It says Brandy was with Lil Wayne and Lil Wayne was there?
No, Brandy was with I think Brandy was with
actually it says Brandy, Lil Wayne, Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm seeing it here. I just pulled it up.
Yeah, that performance
is
good.
Okay.
That was good performance.
Joey Bad A, I saw that part. Kurt Franklin.
Yeah. Kurt Franklin, yes.
Lotto, Lizzo, Chance the Rapper. Okay, Fireboy DML. I don't know who he is. Lizzo. Moody
Lizzo.
Says a couple people more, but yeah, okay. Well,
Lizzo performed. Lizzo, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Kirk Franklin, yeah.
Kirk Franklin in Maverick City.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got mixed feelings there.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I have no.
No, I know the project, the thing. It's that me talking about modern gospel music can be a whole show.
Maybe we need to have a show like that, modern gospel music show.
I mean,
yeah.
No, the gentrification of modern gospel music.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes. Why not? I mean.
Well, we'll plan it up, but it will definitely hit you sometime in the thing because I got a lot to say.
Oh yeah, and I want you to say.
I feel like we've had,
my heart don't pump.
I feel like
my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid.
And you know what? I feel like we had a show about that. But you know what? We really need to get to the next topic.
No, we did a show on a beef.
Yes,
and it brought that up, and we didn't stay on it. We talked more about the beef.
Well, wait, actually, memory serves me right. We talked about the Kanye Jesus is King album, so we had some outside stuff to say. And then we also talked about when Snoop did the gospel album. No, we held some people accountable. We actually did. I remember that now. Some of those episodes.
Yeah, okay, we sure did. But we just did. We didn't do a deep dive into the subject itself.
No, we didn't. No, you're right.
But
we didn't.
We didn't do a deep dive. No.
But we went there too with the gospel rapper beef.
Right.
In season 1.
Oh yeah, with
yes.
And Ruslan.
That was way back in season 1.
And that was silly. But anyway,
that was hilarious.
All right, so we got to move on. We like 45 minutes.
Yeah, we got to move on.
Okay. Over the weekend, you wake up in the morning and you're like, "Dang, what the heck happened?" It was like over the weekend during the week, actually, right? The Supreme Court decided to overturn R.v.W.
And we are using alphabets because of
the algorithm,
particular reasons.
Right.
Yes.
So
So you know. So
R.v.W.
read between the lines.
Right. R.v.W. on a federal level, since it's been overturned, what that does for the law is now give states to now determine in their states if they want to have R.v.W. Protections. A lot of states already had R.v.W. Trigger laws on ABs.
Mm-hmm.
So only in certain states you can get an AB. New York is one of those states, and California is one of those states. Go figure. I don't think anybody's surprised about that. Right?
Exactly.
We did an episode
growing up in New York.
Remember, we did an episode last year about the heartbeat bill. Remember that?
Right.
In Georgia and Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
So because R.v.W. got overturned, it is now illegal to get an AB in those heartbeat bill states.
States. Right.
This is why so much protest happened. Because women are saying, listen, I need my body, my choice.
Let's talk about this Let's talk about this my body, my choice thing.
Here we go.
So I just want to ask this question. So 2 people made a choice to have a BABY, right? As it is discussed, right? So they say.
Mm-hmm.
2 people came together and said, I want a BABY. Technically, 2 people actually did not come together and say, I want a baby. 2 people came together and said, I want to have sex. Mm-hmm. It just so happens when you're having unprotected sex and no type of contraceptive and no pulling out methods that a baby will be created. That is the science of the male and the female. Okay? So.
Yes.
So. I just want to say something. I just want to say something. Where is the man's voice when the man wants to have the baby and the woman doesn't? Because at that point, 2 people made a choice, so they say, but the man's choice is, I want to have the kid. But the woman's choice is, I don't want to have the kid. In that scenario. Then here's the other scenario. Woman wants the kid, man doesn't. But guess what? Even though it was her body, her choice, so they say, when child support comes up, he got to pay. But he didn't want the kid.
Right.
A man can be thrown in prison in certain states for not paying child support.
Yes, true, facts, yes.
How many women go to prison for not paying child support? I'll wait.
None.
That was a rhetorical question. So the thing is,
he said rhetorical.
So the thing is, right, is that let me just say right now, I am pro-life from the letter P to the second word E. I'm pro-life from P to the E. Okay? For those who don't know what that means, just spell out pro-life. It's P-R-O, and then life is L-I-F-E. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Okay?
Yeah.
There are people out there that are walking contradiction. Okay? It's like
we talked about this.
It's like a bird that chirps and barks. It makes no sense.
Right.
You got some women out here talking about pro-life and pro-choice. How does that work? Zacchaeus, what is your humble and uncensored opinion on this overturned decision by the Supreme Court from R.v.W.? R.v.W.
When you talk about R.v.W, my thing is this: women also have a choice to not open their gates, if you know what I mean.
Speak on it.
You said your body, my body. You said my body, my choice, right?
Right.
Now, when you make a decision to ramp and roop on the bed, you're only saying my body, my choice when it comes to making the decision to carry the infant.
Or not carry.
Or not carry, yeah. Now, I guess you feel free to have intercourse any time you want, but I know there's a huge protest going on where they were like,
of course,
with the REV, the R.v.W, and they were going on, saying my body, my choice, and they going against this thing. They're going, they're marching up in place and going against this thing. They said, listen, I can do what I want to do with my body. I can do what I want to do with my body. Because I know what they say. Well, we're the ones that's carrying. So yes, so that's and you hear some women say that we're the one that's carrying, so it should be our choice and our choice only. Okay, so in other words, do we have a say in it? No talk about us having it. No talking about the male counterparts having a say in it. Nothing like that. But when it comes to my body, my choice, I guess you should say, well, shouldn't you say, can I protect myself by not opening my gates, or should I, or should it be that should be your final choice? Yeah, how about that? How about making that decision and say, listen, I'm not gonna open my gates. I'm not married, so I'm not married, so why am I opening my gates to my non-husband? Listen, let's face facts. This is a little bit off the topic. There's more, and that's an old school saying. There's more kids that are being born without the marriage, without a wedlock than anything more than marriage itself. The number is like from a scale of, when it comes to the ratio is like 10 to 1. 1% married, and 9, the rest of 9 is unwedded. But that's it is what it is when it comes to that. Now, they do it, and they say, well, they do. Well, we're the ones that's carrying 9 months. Listen, respect to all women. 9 months is tough. Respect.
Yeah.
But it's also your choice. It's also your choice to say no. Listen. Yeah. It's also your choice to say no. I don't want to, because if you do unprotection, if you go unprotect, you're unprotected. Guess what's gonna come out of? Guess the result is gonna come out of unprotection. So it should be your choice too to say, I'm gonna keep my gates closed until I'm wedded. Okay.
I got a question. Now, I got a question for you, Cinema. Do you think this will crack down on women opening their gates, as Zacchaeus says? Does it make them more cautious?
Number one, these are the facts that nobody had to touch this law. Abortions were at an all-time low.
ABs.
Oh, go back and edit that out. Well, ABs were at an all-time low statistically. The whole thing is, whenever you do anything like this, it just draws attention. And for some reason, somebody wants this and ABs to draw attention because I bet you bottom dollar something else is going. Now to answer your question, because that's part of the answer.
Yes.
It's gonna cause a revolt. People are gonna go, because what's the worst thing you could do with a child or an adult?
Tell them no.
Tell them not.
Tell them they can't. Yeah.
Period. You know,
it's not going to stop women from having ABs on an illegal level. There's going to be a lot of wire hangers. Oh, that's going to be sick.
But the whole thing is,
wire hangers.
But the whole thing is, it's not going to affect rich people at all. It's going to affect the people
poor,
working class and below.
Working class.
Wire hangers. Oh.
Yeah, wire hangers. Before,
that's what they. That's what they used to do.
That's what they used to do.
And worse.
Right, because women died. So those back alley ABs were killing women.
Mm-hmm.
Women were dying from excessive bleeding, infections. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the whole thing is, rumor has it it's not over, that they're coming out the contraceptives next. And then I'm like, then what was the point? Because, you know, there's a lot of things we could be handling. So, inflation, healthcare.
Yeah.
So what agenda and where did this come from? And who? Because all of a sudden, Orange elects 3 people, and they are the main 3 spearheading this.
You got Biden's 1. And you got 45.
Orange is 3.
Right, you got the other ones from 45. Okay. The Supreme Court made this rule. Some people think it's Congress. The Supreme Court. When will people get it in their heads? The real bosses are the Supreme Court. We've been saying that about every law.
And it's not supposed to be this way. It wasn't meant to be. There was a point where they only met 2 weeks a year.
Wow.
Listen.
And this is what you get when you filibuster and kept 44 from making his choice. And I'm going to say this again because I think I said this in season 2.
Uh-huh.
I'm pro-life cradle to the grave.
Absolutely.
I don't have a party that is totally pro-life. The Republicans only care about birthing. Democrats care when you're on the street. Neither one of them are cradle to the grave. So don't give me my party bullcrap. Quote me.
Nah. That's real. Nah, but that's real though.
Neither one is cradle to the grave. Neither one of them. So don't come at me, because the whole thing is you have the right to be born and then you could die at an elementary school.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because you won't ban a GUN.
Ooh.
Ooh. What about these nursing homes murdering old people to make room for new people? I can go all day. Like Captain America says, I can do this all day.
Yeah.
There's so many hypocritical stances because, and I said this on my Facebook, the pro-lifers are there about this, but they're never about here when a black person dies. They're never about here when old people die. And they're always never there when a person is fleeing their country for their life to come here. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, if you read the Bible, you realize you can't legislate righteousness.
Hello.
Real Christianity is about changing the heart.
Yes.
If your heart's changed, it doesn't matter what's on the law books.
Cinema, can you
Cinema,
can you quote your bars from Cold War Chapter 2? You know the line. You know the line.
Believe in yourself. I can't. I'm floored.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the finished work of Christ at all. Are you out of your mind? Or is it a joke that you could say the blood of Christ can be negated by a vote? Go get their album. That's my verse on their album.
The example, Zacchaeus and
Cold World Chapter 2.
Cold World Chapter 2. Pick it up. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
And that's how I started the verse. Yes. That ain't everything. We don't have time to go through the whole verse.
And that was back in 2015?
That was before.
Yeah, that was before all of this.
Yeah, that's 2015.
2015.
I've been saying stuff like this a long time. I've been on this a long time, and now we're here.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But I've seen it coming. The whole thing is, how did I enter that verse? Jesus. Oh, God.
Jesus' blood still holds weight. People is dirt. Caesar's is home, Planet of the Apes.
Planet Ape.
Exactly. Caesar is home, Planet of the Apes. And who gets displaced when these powers and stuff? Minorities and people who don't have money. That's who suffer from these things.
Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to give it back to you, right? I just want to throw this in. I'm going to give it to Zacchaeus.
Go ahead.
Let's just also remember this. Plan H or Plan PH.
Yeah.
Okay? Was what communities were they placed in? Yeah. Okay. So this is what made it so easy for people who for the women who share our complexion on this show to just walk down the street. Get on a train and a bus. I mean, they can literally just walk down the street in some cities and say, "Hey, I want this done. Here's $300 or however how much it costs." Probably more than that. I'm sorry, I'm being facetious, but
and sometimes it gets funded.
Yes, by taxpayers. Yeah, by taxpayers, right?
Payers.
So let me tell you something. I love babies being born, right, and being taken care of after the fact too. So I'm pro-life and pro-living. Right? Because real pro-life is pro-living, right? So I know there are probably women listening to the show angry as F, but I want you to understand something. If you are listening to the show and you are of the minds of us, then you would be against ABs as well. Just saying, right? And then Zacchaeus, you said, being careful about opening your gates and who you open your gates to. I have a question, ladies.
Yeah.
Would you go to sleep with the door open? Probably not. That's basically how some of y'all are living sexually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have Simply Safe or Ring. Okay? So that's a metaphor, actually, when you think about it. You know what I mean? So, you gotta be a little careful. You gotta be a little careful, you know what I'm saying? So I like you said, you can't passing laws don't discipline everything. But see, here's the thing. I think people will be a little more I think men will be more cautious too who they lay their seat up in. Okay? As a man, you're gonna be very cautious. You know what I'm saying? When that thing got overturned, you said, "Oh, let me stop messing with Keisha because, Keisha won't be able to go to the place and get the AB done. We're gonna mess around and have a kid together. I don't want a kid with that, but man, I do want to smash." That's when cats start thinking different. You know what I'm saying? And secondly, I thought, in my opinion, C-19 was population control. So I guess it did what they felt that it needed to do. So now they need to go ahead and say, let's overturn R.v.W. so we can get this population back up because they probably overdid it.
Right.
And secondly, this ain't got nothing to do with black people at all. I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. This is about saving them, not about saving you. Okay? Because a woman got up there sitting next to Orange saying, thank you, Donald Trump, for saving white life. That's what that was about. And he didn't save nothing, Missy. He's not on the Supreme Court. Ding, ding.
Right.
Now, you can say that, like as Cinema stated, that the influence of the judges he put in is the reason why she said that, because, yes, she would thank 45 for that. She would. And that makes sense, right? Yeah. But this is not about saving the country. This is about saving MAGA.
MAGA.
Because they scared we about to outnumber them anyway.
Well, because there have been studies for years saying that. They said the new white is biracial. They said that's what the new white is, biracial. You know how they say orange is the new black? Mm-hmm. They're saying that white, they said that white is the new biracial. That they said,
well,
generations, I'm going to give it to you right now, Zacchaeus, that generations from now, there's going to be more biracial babies, and they're going to be biracial due to black. So they think there's going to be more the biracial in the sense that not white and black, but black and everything else. So that means black and Asian, black and Latino, black and black and white. That's what I saw a video, I kid you not, and they said, this is what people are going to look like in year so-and-so, so-and-so. And they all look like Lisa Bonet, Alicia Keys, and Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, they wouldn't just look like that. But I understand the picture. But that is what you call fear of the black planet. And who taught you that years ago? Public Enemy. Well, before Public Enemy, Malcolm X taught you that. And before that, Marcus Garvey taught you that. And somebody else taught you that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is fear of the black planet. This is more to do with white supremacy that it has to do with black, about ABs in the black community going down. It has more to do with white supremacy and according to that woman, I don't even know her name, I don't even care. White preservation. It's more about white preservation than it is about saving babies. Zacchaeus, take the floor. I've said my piece.
Well, I'm gonna just say it. Well, you have people at the borders struggling to come here. You have Haitians who are dying to come here, struggling to come here, and they get a hard way to go. But yet, you have the Ukrainians that get the privileges. Europeans get even when it comes down to certifications, like degrees, their education is more recognized than from a man coming from Jamaica or Haiti with a degree, or Nigeria with a degree. If you think about it, it's more harder, it's easier for you to come with a degree from London than it is to you to come with a degree from Nigeria. It's easier for you to be you get all the privilege and all the perks as being a Ukrainian compared to being a Haitian. Now, think about it. It's all systematically set up in a way to say that, well, we give us the brown people and black people a hard way to go with certain privileges, not all, but certain things. But it's easier for you to come from the Slavic and the European countries and say, well, yeah, I came from here, and you get all the perks, and you get all the protections and all the perks. You see, so When you look at that and you just think about it. Think about it.
I know where you're going, Zach.
Yeah, man. So
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Can I say this real quick and then I'll let you go? Are you saying? I just want to give context. Are you saying that this was done to compete with immigration?
They don't want America. Don't want this, and I'm gonna say it loud. We're a liberal podcast show.
No,
they don't want it to be.
This is a liberal country, but we ain't a liberal podcast. Let's correct that.
Okay. America, cinema. America doesn't want to be too brown.
America never wanted to be brown.
It also doesn't want to be outnumbered by anybody else in the world, and by anybody else in the world either.
But isn't that what they meant by great again?
Because they want to keep it where they're under the European diaspora, as far as
that goes back to the one strike. If you're a black guy in anything, in business, in ministry, anything in America, they can go off, have tantrums 50,000 times in a lifetime.
Yep.
One instance, you're unstable, you're an angry black man, it's how the system works. They've never wanted it. The whole thing is there's reasons and there's smoke screens, and they know that they'll use the protests, they'll use everything because they know how to set us off. But the whole thing is this country did this before. Like Helen Reddy died last year. But in the 70s, there was a song, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. They burnt the bras. This country does these things in a cycle. And each generation, well, they're not going to do it to us, but they do. It's time to recognize.
Yeah.
Because when things start getting out of control, they come down hard. You're talking about the country that did Black Wall Street, that went into other countries in the name of democracy, raped and pillaged women, all sorts of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Went down to Nicaragua. Went down to Nicaragua in the 80s and set up a government to control, to keep them under thumb.
We're talking about a nation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to stick on topic, right? Cinema. We're talking about a nation that has gotten rich off of Black death, and the reason why, and the reason why,
and imprisonment,
and the reason why everybody else can even come to this country is because of who? Black people.
Yes.
So then now you want to do all of that, police brutality, kill, and all of that, and then now say, "Oh, let's overturn R.v.W." I think it's a hypocritical move. Now I'm not saying I support R.v.W., but I'm just saying that keep your third eye open and know that another law is coming too, or being overturned,
right? Or local rights, or if you're in a trigger state, you're about to lose everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because local governments have been waiting for this in certain places.
Yeah.
My God, their mouths are watering.
Oh man.
And you know what it's going to create is chaos. Yeah. And everybody's just left New York and California. Guess they're about to go back.
Or they'll definitely drive over there.
Yeah.
Or make a trip.
They'll be crossing borders. Spirit, lead me where my trust borders.
And then there's one. I want to take a trip.
She's leaving from that midnight train from Georgia.
I'm leaving on the night train. I don't know when
I'll be back again.
Again.
Because it's
Go ahead,
because it's gonna be. I mean, it's to the point where they're warning women, if you're tracking your period and all that stuff with an app, get rid of that sucker and delete the data because it can be subpoenaed and used as evidence against you.
Ooh.
It's crazy out here. You have to keep your head on a swivel because these people are going lunatic. So depending on what state you're in, if you have anything tracking you or tracking that, please delete your date.
So I have a question, Cinema, because the law is for the woman who gets the AB and the doctor who performs it.
Right. So if you're tracking your period and your trimester and those things, that can give you enough evidence.
So whatever state,
because if you're not having one,
right. So the state would decide. I guess how much time the doctor and the woman would get if an AB took place in a trigger.
But what if you're in a trigger state that got other laws about little things? Right. In addition to that.
Right. In addition to
because
that.
you're dealing with states now.
Yes.
Being able to do whatever they want.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? They did say originally R.v.W. was unconstitutional anyway, right? So it's possible
right.
It's possible that they can give very harsh terms. They could say those who are caught doing illegal do this time. Those who are caught doing it in some type of clinic would do this time.
So
my question is, what happens to these? What happens to these planned PH buildings? What becomes of them in these trigger states?
In some states they'll be open. Mm-hmm. In the trigger states, I expect them to be closed immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah. Okay, closed. So then now funding would be cut, right?
Right. And then guess the other thing they provide, contraceptives. So if you didn't want to get that, okay, if you had contraceptives, that shouldn't end. But in a lot of states, it's going to too.
Okay.
And so now you're going to state by state argument.
Yeah.
Because there's no longer no federal law.
Right. Because a law for Texas
in most states,
from a law in Florida.
Right. And the whole thing was you always could go to federal, even if your local didn't, to keep you out of jail. But now you can't.
Okay. Okay.
So let's say in Texas, it's imprisonment immediately. You're going to jail.
Well, so local elections are coming up this year.
Local election, and like I said earlier on another thing, local elections are more important than the federal for you.
Yes.
Now that's what's happening now. So, well, November, right? This is okay.
But like my friend said, all these people are going to be up in arms, but they're not going to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Married women, okay, for the most part, married women always voted against R.v.W. anyway, right?
Right.
Because usually married women vote with the husband. That's usually how that works, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now these would be probably mainly single women, single non-Christian women, I would think.
Yes.
Okay, single non-Christian women in favor of R.v.W. Now you talked about relocations. If not a relocation, then people crossing borders to state borders and saying, okay, well, I'll go to this R.v.W. state and then get the AB there, drive back. What if the states create a law where the state that you live in, you can't go to a state like that and then do that? What if there's some type of law that does that? That would be kind of weird. That's almost like having a different country.
Please.
Yeah. Yes.
Orange's VP is pushing for same day started pushing for a national AB ban.
Yes, I remember that.
The same day. So you have a lot of things in play, different states. And if you're in one of those states, you need to find out what it is, find out the thing, and keep your head on a swivel, because this is about to get crazy in ways that people don't even understand yet.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of things coming out on the daily that is just making me, and then you look it up and you're like, wow, that's on the books in that state already? Because, you know, a lot of these places were prepared for this because there was false, R.v.W. had false testimony. It has been known, and it's taken this long for it to come around to revoke it based on the false testimony, which it got established under. There's a lot.
You want to hear something, sir? And this is the last I'm going to say. I know I said that before. I was watching CNN, and they showed, I don't know what state it was. Might have been New York, right? They showed a state, right? They showed, because there's a particular date for this overturn thing. They showed a line. Zach here, cinema. A line that went around the block of women going in for abortions. The day that they overturned.
Wow.
Yeah. The day that they overturned. Right outside of a place where they do them, there was a line outside the door. They talked to a guy. He said he's going to be working overtime. One of the doctors. He says he's going to be doing hours of overtime to do ABs. Yeah, is that real?
And
you would have thought that was you would have thought that was the unemployment office. As long as that line was, you would have thought people were applying for a job or waiting for a new pair of Jordans.
Yeah, see,
it was for them, it was for them to be on a line so that they can get babies yanked.
Yep. But they have to be, some women a lot of women got to be careful about that, because you see, the thing is that when you get scraped so many times and you never had a child, you can't hold a child no more.
Hello.
The whole thing
medically speaking.
The whole thing is this. You're talking about two cultures that are against each other. And basically, I'm going to say this. As a Christian, all sin is selfish to us. All sin, I is in the middle of sin. And the whole thing is, do we condemn nobody? No, we have empathy. But every cause has a reaction. And the whole thing is, everything today in this world is my truth. It's not facts. It's not data. It's not evidence.
It's my truth.
Everything is my truth and my philosophy. That's everything in this world.
Right.
And when you live like that, you have no standards.
Yep.
And I know people are going to hear me. They're going to get mad at me. People who know me. I respect what you do, but everything has a cost and a price to it. Everything. It does. And the whole thing is, because it's what I want at the time, nobody thinks long term about anything. You know, people with ABs also suffer from postpartum, even though they didn't have full term. There's a lot of things, and it's like, I hear all the views. And it's like, I have my view, I have my choice. You know, you have the right to choose the wrong thing, but at the end, you know, everyone's like, you just, you know, a lot of people say a lot of things about, because there's so many different types of Christians, evangelicals, but there's one thing that no matter how crazy the doctrines get, we agree on.
Yeah, yes.
Even that denomination that messes with little boys.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going further than that because we don't need no trouble.
Right.
But the whole thing is, there's no respect for life, because you watch a black man get killed on TV and go eat your meal. Like, oh, that's messed up. It doesn't make you sick.
Pass the mashed potatoes.
And so, exactly. And so, if you don't care about somebody living in front of your face, what about somebody you haven't even seen yet? You don't value it. Just say you don't value it. And I know a lot of people, cinema, you don't value it. I'm going on record saying you do not value it. Because I've lost a lot of friends on online because there's just certain things that are deal breakers for me. But I'm not going to sit there and let you be one of the people who just do birthing and let George Floyd get his knee on his neck. A to Z, cradle to grave. That's real pro-life. And pro-choice. You have a choice. Joshua told people, choose today, me and my house. So we're basically saying, if you're listening to this is a me and my house moment. And if you don't like it, that's just how it is. And that's what we agree on this program. And we didn't have to have a meeting about it. We've always all felt this way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you offended, we ain't your cup of tea, so be it. But do you even have respect for a life? Do you even have respect for your own life? And I'm done.
Zacchaeus, any last words before we close out?
Take
your time.
We guess they gotta, it's called accountability for your. We talk about pro-choice, accountability for your own actions. Sometimes you can't shout pro-choice and all of a sudden now you open yourself up to everyone, and now all of a sudden now it's my body, my choice. You got to be wise in these times. That's my final words.
All right.
Blessing. Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to get on out of here. Cinema, let them know where they can reach you, my man.
Cinemascapes on IG, Twitter, TikTok. Where else am I? Apple Music.
Apple Music. Twitter.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, definitely Cinemascapes on Twitter.
All right. Zacchaeus.
Yes, on Instagram. At Zacchaeus Music on Instagram. Also on Instagram, Wayne Bacchus Gospel on Instagram. Also on Twitter. Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. Also on Facebook. Wayne Bacchus on Facebook. Also Wayne Zacchaeus Bacchus on Facebook. You can reach me on those platforms. Get at me. Blessings.
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach me at the Fifth General on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. At the podcast at TRC Pod on IG. On IG at TRC POD. All right.
Only on IG, not on Twitter.
Only on IG. There we go. All right.
Because somebody had that account on Twitter and they banned. That ain't us.
rightfully so. That's what you get trying to perpetrate a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Exactly.
So we're going to get up out of here. We're going to see y'all next time.
Peace, y'all.
Another episode of the Round Circle Podcast.
Circle.
Round Circle
Podcast.
Peace.
Peace out,
man.